I thought that I was done for a little while, but go figure that mere minutes after my first Elvira video goes up, I get a new image, and that is of the playfield from top down. Player viewpoint of this game, House of Horrors, and I've got mixed feelings on it. Let's try dissecting this game and what we believe it may have in store for us, shall we? Let's start from the top down. So, in my previous video, I made a lot of assumptions and kind of thoughts about what I thought the playfield did, and some of those were correct. And one of the things that I was correct about was the fact that this ramp did a 180, and this is not a wire form though, this is a plastic ramp, which is a little disappointing on that. So then I thought that this area right here went down to the basement. It looks like it does. And then we're going to go into a little more detail about that. Yes, we do have a ramp that feeds into the house. And we, a matter of fact, do have a ramp on the right side of the playfield. So I didn't think there was one. There is one. Something I need to note by looking at this is that, at least from this viewpoint, there is no obvious set of pop bumpers, which is a little strange. The only place I could think they would be at is back here behind the family crypt. Now, how many there are, I don't know. The traditional 3 could be 2. I don't know. But I'm thinking that's where they are. But as of right now, this is all I've got to go on. But more than likely, after I post this, guess what? Another image might pop up. So we're going by how I get it, guys. Because I have a few thoughts of what I think this game has in store for us that I'm not sure some people have caught yet. And one of those is the fact that at first glance, honestly, at first glance, I thought that this looked kind of barren. I got a little disappointed, actually. It seems, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it, but it just seems barren. And it seemed like there was just a bunch of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got your target right here. You got about a good 7, I mean, it's a lot of shots, it looks like. So it's the thing, I don't know what it is, but it seems barren, even though you have a good amount of shots. But here's something to think about when I started basically dissecting this playfield, is that you have this ramp that does a 180 and feeds back to the left flipper. But something to take note of is that, look, it says right here, targets open trunk. So it looks like you either have the option of the ball rolling over the trunk and feeding down to your left in lane, or this trunk can be opened by hitting these targets, and that trunk will open and the ball will roll down and basically be a ball lock mechanism. Now, so that's something to think about. Like, okay, that's kind of cool. Something that opens up kind of like a little bit of like an Aerosmith-esque point of view to it, to where it, like a trunk opens up. And so if you're going by the whole point of view of a trunk opening up, now this is going to be a little bit of a, how do I say this? This is going to be a long shot, and I mean that kind of literally too. But I don't know how many of you guys have caught the fact that directly across from here looks like a vuck, along with it angled and going straight across. And I'm wondering if this is going to be able to feed the trunk. If this can open up and this feeds the trunk from across the playfield, how cool would that be? I think that would be damn sweet. And it's one of the things I started thinking about, is how do you feed the vuck? And more than likely, it's going to be through the basement. I bet we have a subway here. You finally knock down that target. And then you're able to lock. See, it says locked 1 and 2. So you probably have a 2-ball locking mechanism inside the basement. And that may be a subway that feeds to this buck. And it may launch it into the trunk. Now, whether or not it's immediate when you hit the basement, then it feeds the subway and then launches one, opens the trunk, and then goes in there. As you can see, the balls will eject out of here. Right here, it looks like they will be able to be ejected and shoot across the playfield. I'm trying to see the trajectory, and it looks like if it shoots out, it's probably going to go right into the pops. From this viewpoint, that's what it looks like is going to happen. So that's something to think about. As far as the artwork on the playfield, looks good. I like it. It's very Elvira-ish. Once again, I mentioned that. Looks like we got some interesting little modes here. Not much to say about a lot of that. You got 1, 2. How many images of Elvira do we have on here? Like 1 on the playfield, 1 on a plastic, and then essentially 1 on the top of the house, and then 1 on the back glass. So, and of course the cabinet. Now, when it comes to the Deadhead family crypt, what do you think about a magnet being in this area? Yes, no, maybe, probably. It seems like that would be some place to basically hold a magnet ball, kind of like you've seen on many other games, whether it be the Munsters. Probably an option right there for that. Looks like your right and left orbits meet in the back, so I don't know. Yeah, chances are, yeah, your left orbit can either go all the way around and go through your right side, or it can feed the pops that are more than likely back here. Doesn't look like there's anything going on underneath this ramp to feed this way. Then, of course, you've got your targets on all your posts. I like having targets on posts, especially for those of us that hit a lot of posts. Makes it seem like, you know, even though we're not hitting any shots, we're still kind of hitting shots. And going over that, that's pretty much what my first thoughts are, guys, is that a part of me, oh, nice little shot of her right there. So this is the limited edition one. I just now caught this. Let's see, press the start button to launch the ball. First crypt kicker. Fire atomic ray gun. Stop hand of fate wheel. Atomic ray gun. I wonder, these labels on here remind me of what you would see on basically like warning labels for like lasers. I'm not saying lasers are coming out of here, but if this is supposed to be maybe a ray gun and that's just the warning labels for it, maybe it fires and goes and launches into the trunk. That's a hell of a shot, guys. Now, it's one thing to be like, you know, Aerosmith or Houdini, where the ball kind of shoots upwards into the depths of the upper playfield area. You've got room to make that shot. This, and I'm probably completely wrong on this, and if I am wrong, then okay, fair enough. But how cool would that be if you watch a ball launch completely across from left to right or right to left, rather, into a trunk? I think that'd be a pretty cool sight to see, and that'll give the games a lot of props, I think, for a shot like that. Nifty way to launch a ball. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that sticks out to me. I'm not seeing much with this house. This is obviously a shot to make for jackpot, extra ball, and a couple little modes, but it doesn't look like this is where you lock your balls. It looks like you lock your balls in the basement down here. And that ramp looks like it feeds the right flipper. Nothing special there. So yeah, I'm not seeing an obvious thing to feed this VUC except for the basement. So it's nice to see that there may be a little bit more to this playfield than meets the eye when you first look at it, guys. I got a feeling that this game is probably going to get a lot of hate, and people are probably going to bash it, saying, oh, typical layout, whatever, basic shots or whatever. Looks pretty boring. But I'm thinking that there may be a little bit more to this game than meets the eye. So just check out the details. And I know there's probably a lot of details that I'm missing here, but it's definitely going to be an option here for this trunk to open and either the ball be fed in or roll over it and feed to your left flipper. Other than that, guys, you got your spinner here. I'm hoping it's an opto spinner so it flies a lot better. I don't know if that's a spinner right there from this angle or not. It's hard to tell. It doesn't look like it's going to be a spinner right there. It's a waste if it's not a spinner. I think there should be spin on every orbit in any game. If it's an orbit, it needs to have a spinner. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up because I may be missing something. And if I am, guys, if there's more details, then by all means, let me know down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you can be notified whenever I upload something for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, guys, peace out.